us here at Solano College. I am Lana Johansen, and this is my co-host Kayla Bleamel here at Solano College Sports Network. And we're going to talk about today the pros and cons of online dating. Kayla, would you like to give us your insight on your experiences with that?
Yeah, so I would say I don't like online dating. I've had enough experiences with it to where I'm like, I'm good. I don't need this. I'd rather meet someone in person, like a more natural connection through like shared interests and hobbies and just like energy and just like feeling out like, you know, like
chemistry.
Exactly, chemistry. Like making eye contact with someone and just having like the same like, you know, the same like frequency and vibe. Like,
totally.
You just know, like you'll know when you meet somebody if you connect with them or not. So online dating, it's very hard for me to do that. I've had so many experiences where I'm just like either like gaslit or just like I get put down for no reason and like I feel like self-conscious when it just like social media in general will do that to you, but online dating it's even worse. Like, you know, you're just scrolling through your phone, like picking somebody off of like how they look mostly, like you'll know within like the first few seconds if you find this person attractive, which isn't necessarily like a bad thing, but
it's shallow.
It's just shallow, and it's hard to like form a connection. Even when you do meet in person, it feels like more forced and just
like you want it to work. It should work.
Yeah,
but
you want it to,
yeah.
but and then it's just hard to like let somebody know who you are, like just sitting down for having a drink. Like you can tell them like about your story, about what you've been through, like, you know, what you value, but at the same time it's really hard to see that. Like they could say all this stuff about themselves, but they're probably like lying. They could be lying, but it just feels unnatural to me. It just doesn't feel like it goes anywhere.
Right.
Or you just have like a terrible experience and they put you down. So it's not for me.
Yeah, so you use the word gaslighting. Do you want to explain to the viewers what that means if they don't know?
Just it's like manipulating and brainwashing, like making you think something that's not true about yourself or about your life. And they'll just manipulate you and put you down, and like you're like, wait a second, you'll have to question it. You're like, no, that's not
They're like
right.
deflecting in a way.
Like they'll project like their traumas and their experiences onto you and like make you like kind of like have to like go into that, and you're like, no, like I can't, this isn't who I am. Like I'm sorry you're dealing with that. Like I'm sorry you've been through some stuff, but that's not who I am, and that's not my life, and that's not gonna work. So
have you had any good experiences?
So I've had like decent experiences. Like they weren't terrible, but
like 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. Like what are we in the scale?
So I would
like
say,
a 3.
Yeah, I would say like a 3. It wasn't bad. Like it wasn't like a total waste of my time. But if I want to meet somebody, I want it to be through like my shared interests and hobbies. Like if I'm at the skate park or like downtown and like I run into somebody who's also skateboarding, like I ran into Josh from high school the other day, and we started talking, we started skateboarding, and it was really great. I was like, it was really good to reconnect with him. It was it felt very natural, like, and then he's like, okay, like let's go skateboard, or let's take my boat out and like, go and do things. And so that's how I want to meet somebody, is through like my shared interests and hobbies and connection, like actually like feel it, like instead of just like scrolling through a phone and like
picking somebody.
I think that could be very toxic, and especially it just like for your self-esteem, especially like it's bad. It's like as a female, it's like we kind of have it easy to like scroll through and like find somebody, but like I think on both sides it's gonna lower your self-esteem, and it's just a waste of time. For me.
It is. I think also too with the self-esteem thing, like social media, like Instagram and stuff, there is a big influence in our generation where it's like, how many followers do you have? Like, if you're a girl, like, are you posting like pictures with your body out, or do you have a nice body and a nice face? Like it's like everything has to be perfect. Like you have to have clear skin, your makeup has to be great, your hair has to look good all the time. Like, and that's not normal. That's not normal. Like I've seen some guy, and like we like guys, and guys, they don't do their makeup, they don't do their hair that much, and sometimes they're a little stinky, but we still like them, you know. We still are like, hey, like we see the good in them. We're not being shallow, like, oh, we only like you because you have a six-pack.
Yeah, or
like,
you have money.
Or you have money. Like, that's unrealistic. That's not real love. But I think online dating, like, when I was years ago doing this, I would always have people, because I didn't have an Instagram for, like, since 2016, like, 8-9 years ago or something like that. I would have a lot of guys, like, obviously me, like, I would never edit my photos like that, and guys would, like, get mad at me and gaslight me and be like, oh, you don't have an Instagram, you're not real, you're a catfish. So catfish is basically, you know, somebody pretending to be somebody they're not.
Yeah.
Using fake pictures, or either pictures when they were younger and they're older now, like, it's not who you are. Yeah. So a lot of guys would get mad at me and question me and gaslight me, like, oh, that's not really you, like, you're a catfish, you don't have an Instagram, like, there's no way you're real, like, you're too pretty, or you're too good looking, whatever. Which I'm like, okay, I guess that's nice, but also too, like, you're kind of, it's a backhanded compliment. Yeah. And so some guys, like, I would just, like, tell them to, like, kick rocks. Yeah. But then some people, like, wouldn't come about it in such a hostile way. So I would explain, be like, I just am not a big social media person. Like, I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't need to post me when I look good to have people like me or get attention. I don't need that. To feel validated. I don't need random guys to like my photo to be like, I'm hot. Yeah. Like, I don't need that. But yeah, I would tell people, like, no, that's me. Like, it even got so bad to one point where some guy asked me, he was like, okay, like, I believe you. I believe that it's you, but just to really make sure, can you write your name down on a piece of paper and, like, hold up a peace sign and take a photo and send it to me? And I'm like, are you serious? Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to just do it to, like, prove him wrong. Like, that was my ego talking. Mm. And I took a picture for him. I didn't write my name down on a piece of paper. I just took a picture of me flipping him off. And I sent it, and I just unmatched him. Like, it was just so dumb. Like, why are you? That's literally the definition of gaslighting. How are you going to tell me it's not me?
Yeah.
What?
I could see, like, the concern. Like, there's obviously, like, the safety concern about that. But as a female, it's like, it's not. Is it really that unheard of that we don't have an Instagram? Like, I'm sorry, no. Like, the standard has been set so high for how you should look, especially as a female. Like. Yeah. And I do not like Instagram for that reason. You should not be wasting your time posting pictures of, like, yourself just to feel validated or loved or worthy. Yeah. It's like, okay, you can, if you feel confident and you want to, like, share with people what you're doing or how you look, that's cool. But I don't see that. Like, no, it's. And there were studies that were done on women on, like, how they perceive themselves, like. People will come in and, like, rate them and, like, tell them or describe how they look, and then the woman will say, like, how they think they look, and it's totally different. Yeah. And it's so toxic, and it's so terrible for self-esteem. Like, it is, and it's just a waste of time. Like, I want to be, like, connecting with, like potential interests, like, for love, or my friends, just, like, naturally, like, and organically. So. It's sad, but but if you have to meet somebody, like, by online dating, like, by all means do it. Like, if you really want to meet people from, like, a different area, or you're just having a hard time in your hometown, like, our hometown's really small. It's really hard to meet people. But at the same time, my luck with online dating, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll meet someone eventually, like, where I want to be, like, with my hobbies and interests, and, like, organically meet somebody. So
I think also too, like, when you meet, like, when it's organic and you have that chemistry, like, think about in high school, like, or even in college, like, mostly in high school though, when you're, like, kind of close and friends with everybody, like, you have people that you're like, okay, like, that guy's cool, or, like, he's cute, or maybe somebody's really nice and they're not as cute, but you know everybody for so many years, you heard their drama, you've seen their good, their bad times, like, it's like a reality TV show, like, we're all together in it together. But there's a lot of times where people have been friends with people for a long time, or have known each other for a while, and they never were, like, attracted to each other or liked each other in that way, but as they got older and, like, they started talking more, getting to know each other, see how you grew as a person, they're like, wait, that person's actually really cool. Like, they're actually cute. Yeah. And then you guys just randomly start talking, and then it turns into a relationship because it just naturally flowed. There wasn't a ticking time bomb of like, oh, I need to go on this date at 7:00 with this random guy that I don't even know. Yeah. I have to look my best. I have to be on my best behavior so he likes me and thinks I'm pretty, or like I'm gonna go home feeling like crap. So
yeah, exactly.
Either way, you kind of feel like crap.
Yeah, it will do that too. Yeah, you'll be like, wait, I should have said this, I should have done that. Yeah. And you just play it over in your head, and then
that's insanity.
But yeah, so like you said, like I reconnected with someone from high school, like, and just someone who like makes me laugh, and like I have like shared
genuine.
Like someone who's genuine, and I have like shared interests with. That's where I'm gonna have to go, and like and that's what I'm good with.
It makes for better relationships, honestly. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of relationships come and go with. I think the worst though that I've seen are the online dating, where it's like a lot of my friends have met a guy, and like I met the guys too with them, and I'm like, okay, like he seems cool, he seems nice, like he's buying us dinner, doing all this nice stuff, like being a gentleman. So I'm like, okay. But sometimes when it's too good to be true, you know, I always have something to say. Like I'll be nice about it. Like I care for my friends and I want to look out for them, but like something won't add up. Like he's doing all these nice things, he's handsome, like everything's perfect, but it's like he's not being 100% open and raw, being like, okay, like I have done bad stuff, or like I have messed up, or I'm not perfect, you know? Guys, most of the time on dating apps, they don't want to say anything bad, like they're perfect. They have a little crown on their head.
And like that's my biggest thing. Like when I meet a guy, I'll tell him straight up. I'm like, I don't care like what you've done or like about your past. Like if you're open and honest, like I'm not gonna judge you. Like if it's not like, if you're not doing terrible things, and it's like, I'd rather have someone be honest with me and like actually tell me who they are and what they've done, and like,
trying to be better.
Through. Yeah, and it's like it's a growth process. Like just don't hide behind like some false profile, you know.
And it's worse too when you find out. Like I've my one experience of online dating, I dated this guy for a while, and I found out about a lot of stuff that he has done to me or to other people that is totally not okay. And I was hurt. It didn't feel good. I didn't want to be with him anymore, but I was more hurt because I was with this guy for almost a year and longer, and he didn't even tell me. Like he didn't let me know. Like we got deep into conversation. I'm thinking I know this guy inside and out. Like we're gonna get married. Like I'm thinking all this crazy stuff. And then I find out who he really is, and then I see him totally in a different light, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. Like I gotta leave this. Like you lied to me. Like you didn't even tell me. Like how am I supposed to believe anything that comes out of your mouth if you can't even give me the respect of opening up to somebody you love? Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's hard. And I feel like dating in general, like even if you don't meet them like on the app, like I feel like phones in general have like, it's just shifted like traditional marriage. Like people would get married when they're like 20, 21, have a family, have kids, and like now 19. And now it's more like the phone has like, it's caused a lot of distractions like in general, but like in terms of like cheating and just being dishonest, like and just controlling, I feel like it's a major problem. So I feel like dating in general has just become really hard. So you would have to meet somebody who just aligns with your morals and like what you value and how you treat people, and like, you know, so it's harder. It takes a lot more effort, a lot more time, but you just have to be patient and trust that it'll all work out eventually.
Yeah, with social media, I think the one thing with cheating and stuff, I think, I mean, obviously Instagram's always in there, but Snapchat, if people are being sneaky or are trying to get away with stuff, Snapchat. You could take a photo disappears forever. You could talk to somebody, you have no idea. You could delete chats, you could delete the thread, like, gone forever. Gone forever. And you have no idea.
I know.
No idea at all.
I've had
terrifying
instances where men who are like married or in relationships will Snapchat me like, wait, what are you doing? You're married.
Me too.
I'm like,
me too.
No.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, and it gives me like a lot of trust issues, obviously, but at the same time, like I know I will meet somebody who aligns with what I value and like honesty and like that doesn't want to be sneaky and doesn't have to do that. Like you'll know. It'll take some time, but
it does. I mean, I gave up for a long time. As soon as I moved back from San Diego last year, I told you, I told Casey, and I told Alyssa, I was like, I'm being single for a long, long, long time. I lived here for probably maybe a month and a half. Got a boyfriend. Yeah. Oh, of course, Lana has a boyfriend again. Typical. But the only reason why it was different this time and I like went back on my word is because it felt like I met him in person. It felt so natural. Yeah. He was so sweet. Like seeing him, how he was with his friends, how he treated his friends. Exactly. He was so kind, had their back. And around like my friends, and especially girls, like girls that are pretty, like he wasn't being creepy, like touching them weirdly or being overly friendly. Like he was so respectful for my friends and his friends, and I was like, wow, you're a good guy. He has a great stable family relationship. He loves his mom, his dad, like everything. It was everything that I wanted in a guy. And he wasn't shady. Like he was just like, this is me, like let's go hang out. I'm like, oh, like a golden retriever. Like it was just like that. It was perfect. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't have to be toxic. Like I don't have to be worried every second of what you're doing.
I know.
It was great.
And honestly, like seeing that has like given me hope again. So
like we love them.
I love them. And like that's a great way to like, you have to see how they are with your friends. So like online dating, it's like I almost, if I did ever go on the online date again, I'd be like, no, you're gonna come with me and my friends, or I'm gonna go with you and your friends. That's what I do. And I'm gonna see like how you are in a group setting. Like I'm gonna actually really get to know you. So
exactly.
That's awesome. So
I'm
so happy for you.
Thank you. I know it's good. I think all the girls in our group seeing like our relationship and how stubborn and like I don't care what a man says to me, like I won't back down. Like don't get in my face. But I think it really gave everybody hope, even myself, like seeing that, oh my gosh, there are great men in this world. And he's so sweet to all of us. And he's like, he even gives you advice, or like all of our other friends, like, you don't need him, like that's not okay.
Yeah, he's like a genuine
person. Like he's just a genuine human, which is good. So it's possible. We all have hope. It's possible. Oh gosh, that's so funny. Do you have any dates in the future?
Dates in the future? Ooh. So like I'm supposed to go skateboarding with someone from high school again. So that's like on like the roster.
On the roster.
I kind of just like play it by ear.
Yeah.
Like I'm being very picky like this time around, like after getting out of a relationship for 6.5 years that was just toxic. I'm gonna be very picky and go slow this time. Like I really want to like get to know somebody and make sure that our values line up before I rush into that again. And I want to focus on school and like my family and friends and
build your own empire.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like I don't want to depend on somebody else for that. Like I want to be whole as myself and like work through all of my trauma and issues and like really figure it out and be like set on my own, and then like meet somebody else who's like set on their own and like we can, you know, come together. So like I feel like there's the right potential with like with who I just ran into. But, I'm just be careful.
That's
this
good.
Time
That's noble of you to say. A lot of people don't think
like
of it that way.
A lot of like women are worried about being married by 30 and having kids, and I'm like, honestly, like
I'm good.
I'm good. Like you really just want to make. I don't want to end up like divorced again. So like I'm gonna make sure I play my cards right this time. And like there's no timeline. Like
It's just society and what our generation has made that timeline.
And like I said, I feel like it's really shifted with like social media and phones and just all of the distractions and everything. So I feel like it takes more time. And
it does.
I want to make sure.
Should we go over our three rules for online dating if people like that?
Online dating, yes. So if you like somebody, like really make sure you talk to them.
Yes.
For a while, like FaceTime them.
At least
do a
like
phone call.
2 months.
I mean,
I say at least 2 months.
Yeah, like I feel like people want to be really pushy about like meeting up like as soon as possible, but it's like no. Like you don't. If you want to meet me, if you want to get to know me, you can do that, but it's gonna take some time. You know, like I'm busy.
They should respect that.
I work or go to school. Like, so really just take your time to get to know them. Talk on the phone, FaceTime. Second, if you do like want to get to know them more in person, safety is like a really big thing. So go somewhere like in public setting. Someone has to have your location.
Yep.
You know, don't just be smart about that. And the third,
be yourself.
Be yourself. Yeah. Don't create a profile that isn't you. Don't use filters on your pictures. Don't try to say things just to get attention.
Right.
Like, be genuine. You know.
Yeah.
if it works, it works. But if it doesn't, there's always a chance you'll meet someone in person.
Plenty of fish in the sea.
Plenty of people. Like, yeah.
Do you want to close us out?
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for our second episode of Quarter Life Crisis in the Solano College TV studio. I'm Kayla Bleamel, and this is Lana Johansen. Thank you.
Thank you.